Good evening, guys. Are you getting my voice? Yes. Okay. So, guys, last session what we discussing? So about the Django REST framework, some basic points we discussed. Am I right? So here these things we discussed at the last session, sir. So why you are deciding to learn this REST API, and to learn this REST API, what are the prerequisites? So we discussed last session clearly these points, basic points. To learn this REST API, we required Python knowledge and Django REST framework knowledge. Just Django framework knowledge to learn this Django REST framework, sir. Okay. So Python and Django knowledge is required to learn this Django REST framework. So if you are not completing Django completely, no problem. Some minimum basic points if you know, then you can easily understanding this REST API. So getting this point? Okay. And if you want to developing one Python application, full-fledged 100% web application development, if you want to do, then we required Python, Django, and also Django related another plugin like a Django REST framework. Django REST framework. Okay. So this REST framework simply people are called as REST API. REST API. Are you getting this point? Okay. So when you knows about these three concepts of Python, Django, and REST API, then you are able to developing the 100% product, good product. Okay. So a lot of people knows only Python and Django. They are learning only Python and Django, sir. So using this Python and Django, you are going to developing only 70% of the product. These all points last session we discussed. Okay. Now remaining 30% developing purpose, you are going to learn this REST API concepts. Are you getting this point? So this 30% code is getting a lot of benefits to our existing Django projects. To our existing Django project, this 30% code when we are adding, then our application is getting more power. Okay, a lot of advantages are there because of this REST API coding. Are you understanding this one? Okay. So why we are using this REST API? Why we are using this REST API? What is the importance of REST API means? So if you want to providing one application to another application, communication, one application to another application, communication, if you want to provide, then 100% REST API is required to your existing Django project. That is the point. Okay. So without REST API, if you are developing any one application very beautifully, you are developing, effectively you are developing, but your application is not getting more demanding, more popularity not getting. When adding REST API only, your application is using by multiple people from multiple applications. Okay. So application to application communication is providing is possible by using the REST API. So simply you are not developing REST API means API communication is not possible. API communication is not possible. Understand this one? So that's why you are going to providing this API communication feature to your Django project. You are learning this REST API. Okay. So that is one reason. And also REST API is REST API nothing but Django REST framework. So Django REST framework is an extension concept of Django. Django REST framework is an extension concept of the Django framework only. Means Django REST framework is developing on top of the Django framework. Okay. So this Django REST framework is having so many predefined modules, predefined methods, predefined classes. So because of these all predefined modules or classes or methods, as a developer, we are not going to write more lines ourselves manually. Everything you are going to get internally, ready-madely you are getting, sir. So just we are going to import these ready-made modules or classes or methods. By using these ready-made classes or modules, so we are getting the lot of benefits. Okay, simply REST API related concepts if we are using inside our development, as a developer, we are getting the lot of benefits. What are those benefits means? So we are not writing the more lines of code. Okay, we are not writing the more lines of code. Like a lot of points are there. we will discuss one by one. We will discuss. Okay. So now you can see here. This is my browser. This is what my browser. And here my database is there. Here my DB is there. I want to store some data, sir. Here some records are there. So now I want to create the third record here. Third record I want to create. Then in this browser, you're writing some logics are inside your Django. So I'm going to execute. So first of all, here I'm writing from some URLs are HTTP, okay, HTTP slash okay 127.0.0.1 like some port number. So HTTP is a protocol, and after that IP address, and after that port number you are going to give. So for example, I'm going to write HTTP : so local host we are giving, and then port number 8080 I'm giving, and then so employees EMPs I'm taking, sir. Assumption. This is my URL. When I'm sending this URL, so this request comes to this database via our Django program, getting this all data and displaying here. Okay. So record 1, record 2, all things you are getting on the browser. Now my intention is I want to create the data into this database. Then here you are going to developing, for example, employee number, employee name, salary, sir. Just 3 fields assumption. Okay. So now you are going to get like this a presentation. Getting this one, and one submit button. For example, create button. I'm writing create button. Okay. So this is you are going to get, sir. This is you are going to get. Now here you are going to enter some number, employee number 10, employee name, for example, Ramesh I'm going to get. Okay, Ramesh I'm going to get, and employee salary 10,000 I'm going to get, sir. Okay. So after entering data, when I'm clicking this create button, now taking this all fields data, going to this database and storing here, sir. In Django you are doing this one only. Okay. So if you want to create data, then you are developing your own HTML code, sir. Templates code you are writing. Employee number, employee name, salary related. Some templates code you are going to designing. Next, if you want to update again templates you are designing. If you want to delete templates you are designing. So by default from the browser only get operation possible. This is if you want to get the data from DB, so get operation only possible. Get operation. Remaining three operation. For example, post operation is there. Okay, and put operation nothing but update related, and delete operation is there. Okay. These three operations if you want to developing, then HTML presentation you need to be developing using the Django, sir. Okay. So but if you are using a REST API, this HTML presentation code not required to developing as a developer. Okay. So these all presentation itself developing by Django REST framework. Employee number, employee name, salary, these all code automatically you are going to get. So simply no need of HTML knowledge, presentation knowledge not required much more to developing the REST APIs. That is the point, sir. Okay, this one. So if you are not developing the presentation means simply no need to know much knowledge about the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, like a number of UI technologies. Okay. So in Django you are using these all combination HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, these all things, and you are going to develop in the presentations. Simply entire presentation you are going to escape here using the REST API concept. Okay. Here our primary focus is developing the APIs using pure backend, not developing the presentation. In Django you are developing the presentation. So point remember. So simply you are removing these all lines of code. HTML code you are not writing means obviously less lines of code we are developing inside our projects. Okay. So to developing the APIs we required less lines code only. So because of less lines, so cost of the project is saving, sir. Because of less lines, cost of the project is saving. Why means less lines are taking the less memory. Less memory is taking the less cost only. Okay. And less lines code you are writing means obviously time saving. Within the less time we can develop in the APIs. So again, time saving means cost saving. Okay, so applicate project development time saving and the cost of the project saving because of the less lines of code. And when you are writing the less lines of code, line by line coding is executing, sir. That's why obviously performance is increasing. Okay, and less lines you are writing means readability is increasing. Less lines you are writing means complexity is decreasing. Complexity is decreasing. Getting this one? Like a number of benefits are there. And next, built-in serializer support is there, sir, by Django REST framework. Okay, the REST API is providing some built-in serializer support. So because of these serializer support, so first of all, what is serialization? Definition, sir. So the process of converting one type data into another type is called serialization. Okay, so when we are developing the applications, one edge database is there, sir. Another edge browser or any application is there. From this browser, whenever we are sending the request to database, and we are getting the data, sir. We are getting the data. Okay. So how we are getting the data? Here you are sending request, sir. You are sending the request. Here you are getting the response. Understand this one? So when we are sending the request, we are getting the response. But as a developer, how we are people getting this response means we need to develop, we need to convert in these all conversions. Okay. So users, users, the people who are using our application, they are sending the request, they are getting the response. But as a developer, we are doing conversion. This database data, first we are converting into query set object by using the ORM query, sir. In Django, ORM queries you are writing model name dot object dot all like this. Okay. So next, this query set data we are converting into dictionary, Python dictionary types. Why means we are the Python developers. That's why Python type we converted. If you are a Java developer, then they will convert into Java type, like a map is there. Okay. Now dictionary data converted into JSON. JSON we are sending to browser by using the HTTP response method, like some methods. Okay. So this is our target, sir, as a API developer, this conversion. So many programs we are going to do this conversion. Are you getting this one? So now REST API is providing some built-in serializer support, I told. So because of this built-in serializer support, so directly after taking data from database, you are storing into one variable, query set. This query set data directly converted into JSON format via dictionary. Okay. So next, JSON data we are sending to browsers. Now, if you want to create data into database, then so from the browser we are sending the JSON data. Now JSON data converted into query set format via dictionary. Okay. So query set data converted into JSON, JSON data converted into query set via dictionary format done by using the serializers concept. Okay. If you are not using the REST API related serializers, means to do these conversions manually, we are going to write 100 lines of code, sir. But if you are using the serializers concept, means at the end of the sessions, you are going to write a maximum 4-5 lines code only, sir, not 100 lines, 4-5 lines code only you are going to write. So that much benefit is there by using the REST API serializers concept. Understand, fine? So we have big session about the REST API serializers concept, and every program we are going to use the serializers code, sir. Okay. So that's why in the entire REST API, it is like a human being heart, sir. As a human being, we are having a lot of organs, sir, in our body, like heart, liver, okay. So some hands, legs, like so many parts we have. Out of all things, heart is taking some crucial role. Same like serializers concept also is taking some importance role in our REST API. Okay. Yeah. Next, REST API is providing some built-in securities to our APIs. It is providing some built-in mechanisms to our APIs for providing the security. What are those things means? For example, token authentication. Okay. So token authentication, one mechanism it is providing basic authentication. Next, session authentication. Okay. Like some predefined classes it is providing, sir. Predefined classes it is providing, some predefined modules providing for providing the security. So if you are using these predefined classes, then we can provide a security very easily to our APIs by writing 1 or 2 lines code only, not 100 lines code, 1 or 2 lines code. Okay, so why required security to our APIs? Means, sir, you are developing one application, you are creating a lot of data into your database. Okay, you are creating one API for accessing that data. So I'm sending that API, I'm getting that data, no problem. Same API I'm sending to your application and I'm deleting all your data. Means you are losing your data. Am I right? So unwanted actions, illegal actions, controlling purpose, we need to provide security to our APIs. So to providing this security to our APIs, REST API is providing these all predefined classes. So we have big session about each class. Big session we have each class about these things. Okay. So separate projects we are going to do about the token basic session. Not only these things, some more extra also we can do. Understand this one? Yeah. Next benefit is so huge documentation is there, sir. Huge documentation is there. Huge documentation available for DRF. Available for DRF. DRF stands for what? Django REST framework, sir. DRF stands for Django REST framework. Understand this one? Yes, sir. Okay. Now, so because of this huge documentation, so we can learn a subject very easily. So when we are developing the applications, so we are getting some problems. Those problems how we are solving. So means by learning this all documentation, we can understanding how we can solve that problem like this. Okay. And one of the main advantages, so for our REST API, for our Django REST framework. So Stack Overflow support is also there, sir. Stack Overflow, third-party support. Okay. So third-party support, nothing but, for example, Stack Overflow. This is one community, sir. Stack Overflow site community there. This community is providing solutions to our development problems. Okay. When we are developing the applications, if we are getting any problem, how we can solve that problem? Okay. So for that problem related solutions we are getting in this Stack Overflow site. Not only REST API, for Django, for Python, anything you are getting a lot of solutions in this Stack Overflow site. So many employees are real-time employees are registered with this Stack Overflow site and they are providing the solutions. Okay, for particular kind of problems. So when they are developing the real-time applications, they are getting problem. For that problem, they are getting the solution again. So that problem and solution they are pasting into the Stack Overflow site. So as a developer, when we are developing our application, if you are getting any problem, we can search on the Stack Overflow. Then almost we are getting the our problem related solutions. Okay, so these all the benefits. And one more thing is sir, when you are using the Django, using command prompt, you are creating the project, you are creating the application, you are executing the server, you are doing the make migration, migrate command. Am I right? Are you doing those things or not? Okay. Yes, all Django people regularly using those commands. Not only those commands, a lot of extra commands in this REST API I will introduce. No problem. Okay. And without opening the MySQL database, for example, if we are using MySQL DB to communicate with our Django, then all data we are storing into MySQL, sir. So without opening the MySQL database, we can confirm the data state. We can confirming the data state. Data state means behavior. When we creating data, really data created or not, really data updated or not, really data deleted or not. So we can confirm the data state using the command prompt also. Okay, no need of opening the MySQL database separately and no need to select the tables, select the star from table name like this. Okay, so using command prompt, using command prompt, we can confirm, okay, confirm the data states. Data state means behavior, creating, updating, deleting, these things performing or not, we can confirm it. So separate process is there, separate commands are there. So I will introduce those all things in this REST API concepts. Okay. So next, and in this duration, so application to application communication, you are going to get the practically, sir. And using command prompt, how we are testing our APIs, using another application, how we are testing our APIs, and using browser, how we are testing our APIs, and also some real-time tools we are going to use. Okay, Postman, Swagger, like some tools are there. So we are going to discuss about this kind of tools also, how we are downloading, how we are installing, these all things we will discuss very clearly. Okay, so why required Postman, why required Sagar, these all things we will discuss. Are you getting this one? So these points last session we discussed some overview. So I given again overview about that one. So now we will discuss some extra concepts. Okay, so are you understanding why REST API is required? Means so app to app communication is required majorly. Using Django URLs, app to app communication is not possible. That point remember. Why means Django URLs returns HTML type output. HTML data is not a universal data. Then what data is universal? Okay. Now we will discuss that point. Now can see here. Here my Django project is there. Here my Django project is there. Django app. So next here one Java app is there. Java app. Now here one .NET app is there, sir. .NET assumption. .NET app is there. Okay. Now to communicating these all applications, Django to Java, Java to Django. Okay. So for example, Java person wants to communicating this Django, sir. Then Django giving the response back to Java. Okay. Java person sending the request and getting the response back. Okay. Same like .NET person sending the request to Java and getting the response back, sir. Now here .NET person sending the request to Django and getting the response back. Wait guys. Which one communicating? Yeah guys, sorry. Again we will discuss. So what is this one? So first we will discuss, no problem. Django app. Now here Java app, sir. So actually what is going I'm telling here. And here some .NET app is there, assumption .NET app is there. Yeah. So now if you want to providing communication between one application to another application, sir, Java to Django, Django to Java. So I'm sending one request from this Java application to Django. How Java application is sending request means by using the API, by using the URL, simply URL nothing but API only, sir. Okay. Now Django taking that URL and giving that response. So URL is nothing but request, sir. Java application sending the request, Django taking or else receiving the request, processing that request, generating the response, giving the response back, giving the response back. So you can say like so this is the request sending, and now here response getting, response you are going to get. So getting this one, response you are getting. So same like from .NET also you are sending the request and you are getting the response back. Getting this one. So as a user can send the request from Java to Django, they will get the response. How they are getting response? Actually Java syntax is different, sir. Java syntax different, Java keywords different, Java data types different, Java object creation is different, and Django nothing but Python related. So Django related data types different, keywords different, way of coding is different. Okay. Then how these both languages understanding their request, when Java sending request in the form of Java coming request, how Django understanding Java type coding, and Django gives response in the form of Django format. then how Java is understanding. Okay, so that is the problem, sir. That's why app-to-app communication is not possible. So as a developer, we are doing this conversion. Java code we are converting into Django. Django code we are converting into Java. That is our REST API developer role, sir. Are you getting this point? So now you can see here. When you are using a Java to Django one request, you are getting the response, sir. Generally, for request, you are getting the response. Am I right? So this is the request. Now you are getting the here response. So this response, generally what type of response you are getting means HTML response you are getting, sir, using Django URLs. Okay. So HTML is not a universal type. That's why Java is not understanding this HTML data. HTML data is taken by Java, but Java is unable to use this HTML. So app-to-app communication is not possible. Okay. Then what kind of response you want to providing this communication means we required JSON or we required XML, sir. Why means JSON or XML, nothing but JSON or XML people are called as universal message format languages. Universal message format languages. Okay. Why means if data is available in JSON format or in XML format, that data can understanding by Django application, can understanding by Java application, can understanding by .NET application. So that's why we require always response in the form of JSON, always request also in the form of JSON. Okay, now you can see. Now you can see, sir. Now you can do it. So this is what Django. So now final diagram I will write, sir. Final diagram I will write. Now here Java is there. Now here .NET is there. Okay. So these all applications required one mediator. These all applications required one mediator, sir. What is that mediator? Is nothing but REST API. Okay. So REST API is nothing but in the form of JSON, in the form of JSON or in the form of XML. Okay, JSON or XML format we need to converting data. So now you can see my Django request converting my Django request converting into JSON format, sir, by writing the some lines of code here. Django to JSON conversion coding lines we are going to write, sir. How we are writing later you are going to get. Now this JSON request here JSON type data is there, sir. Django is converted into JSON format or XML format. Now this JSON data converted into Java format by writing the some lines of code. By writing the some lines of code. Are you getting this one? Okay. Finally, Django code reaching to Java. Now Java processing that request and giving the response. So this response again converted into JSON format or in XML format. So Java data, Java response converted into JSON. Now JSON response is sending to Django. Nothing but my Django application is taking a JSON response. Okay, by writing the some lines of code. Are you understanding what I'm telling? So Django sending the request in the form of JSON, sir. Now JSON request taking by Java. Now Java giving a response in the form of JSON and the JSON sending Django receiving that response, JSON format response receiving. Are you getting this one? So this is what request we are calling, and this is what we are calling response. And now here this is what request. Okay, now here this is what response. Are you getting this one? Now same like .NET also sending a request in the form of JSON, sir. Nothing but .NET code converted into JSON format. Now JSON response taking to .NET in the form of JSON. Okay, so now this is also request you are getting, sir. Request you are sending, and here what response you are going to get. Are you getting this one? So always all applications are Django, Java, .NET. All people target is what? Their own language code converted into JSON, and JSON code converted into their own language format. We are the Django developers, sir. So Django code how converting into JSON, and JSON code how converting into Django. This is our responsibility. Understand, friend? What is our responsibility? This piece, sir. This is our responsibility. Why means we are Django developers, we are not Java developers, we are not .NET developers. Okay, so this thing regularly we are going to discuss how we are going to be converting this conversion. So Django to JSON, JSON to Django conversion purpose. If you are using the Django technology, then more than 100 lines code required to do this conversion, sir. I will show you these all things practically later. Same thing if you are using here REST API, sir, to your Django project, REST API you are developing, REST API, sir. Okay, so REST API, using REST API, if you want to do this conversion Django to JSON, JSON to Django, only less than 10 lines code is enough, sir. Less than 10 lines code is enough to do that conversion. I means remaining all conversions are ready-madely done by Django REST framework. That's why this REST API is getting demanding. Okay, so now can see, sir, here Django to JSON and JSON to Django converting purpose. In our Django side, API developers are there. Simply we are calling REST API developers. REST API developers. These people we are calling REST API developers. Now Java code converting into JSON, JSON code converting into Java. So here Java side also some developers are there to do this purpose. Java to JSON, JSON to Java purpose. Here also some developers are there. So officially we are calling web service developers. Web services developers we are calling, sir. And here .NET to JSON, JSON to .NET converting purpose. Here also API developers are there. Generally they are calling web API developers. Web API developers. Understand this one? So in all languages side, all framework side, Django, Java or .NET, sir, in all technology side, API developers must be required. So Java people using Java code, how they are converting these things, they are doing practice learning, sir. Okay, that is that we are calling web service concept. And .NET side people using the web API concept, they will do conversion. And our Django side by using the REST API conversion. Okay, we are calling REST API, sir. Using REST API concept, Django to JSON, JSON to Django, we are going to do this conversion. Okay, so why all these people required JSON and XML means JSON or XML data can understanding by all languages in entire world. That's why all people developing their code, okay, converting into JSON format. So for our Django purpose, for our Django application purpose, we are going to developing this some APIs. These APIs converting our Django response into JSON format, and the JSON response converted into Django format. Okay. So assumption, I created one API one, sir. This is my API. For my Django, I developed this API one. Now Java person, sir, Java person sending this API one in their coding. They are in this Java coding, they are using my API. While they are writing code, they are using my API. So using my API, they are converting into my Django via JSON format. Okay, so that is the concept, sir. That is the concept. Now Django giving response in the form of JSON, JSON taken by Java. Are you getting this one? So now in this sessions, we are going to discuss this communication, sir. We are the
sir, small question.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
We are calling the REST API in Django itself, or we are calling using some other API like Java or .NET in our classes in future.
After developing APIs, you are asking? Yeah. So after developing API for our Django project, you are working here, sir. In this project, you are working. You are developing one API for your application. These APIs are using by Java applications, are using by .NET application. Other people are using our APIs to interact with our application.
In our classes, we are designing REST API, right? That REST API is called by only our Django, or it called by Java, like
No,
Java
yes,
was
I
not.
understand your question. So here we are not Java developers, sir. We are not .NET developers. That's why we are not going to developing the Java coding, .NET coding. Why means we don't know that syntax, all the things. Okay. So
So
that's why
we are
here,
designing the services and we are calling the services. That's it.
yeah, see, I'll here one Django application, Django 1 I'm developing. Okay. Instead of here Django, here instead of this application, Java application, one more Django application we are going to write parallelly. So from one
Okay.
application to another application, communication we are going to do. Okay.
Okay.
So one application to another application, communication, if possible, means that API can use by any application, sir. Java, .NET. If you know Java, you can write your Java code. If you know .NET, you can write .NET code, and you can use my API working. That is 100%. Okay. So one Django 1 we are developing, Django 2 application also we are developing. So for Django 1, I'm developing the API, sir. From the Django 2, I will test all these APIs working or not. Okay. From Django 2, I will send some data that is interacted with Django 1. Django 1 having database. So interacted with that database and doing the CRUD operation in that Django 1 application related DB. Okay. So like this thing I will show you, and one pure Python application also we are going to do, sir. So here you are developing Django 1 application, sir. Here one Python application we are going to developing pure Python without Django. So now from this Python I will interact with my Django and I will do all CRUD operations, Django
One more
application
small
database.
question.
Yeah.
When you're calling the Python code, you said like Python code. When in Python, in Python code,
your voice is cutting, sir. Come again.
In Python code, you are calling the API, right? Generally.
Yes.
In Python code, when you call the API, the API is expecting some JSON input. Then in Python code itself, you are passing the JSON input.
We can pass JSON input.
In Python code itself, without using Postman tool and other tools.
Yeah, we can create.
Like post call, put call, this calls.
All calls you can do it. Third party modules are there. We are going to use those modules, and those modules having some methods. Using those methods, we can do it all things.
Those methods are belongs to Python or REST API? Python.
Yeah. Exactly not exactly not belongs to particular language. That is belongs to API conversions related. So third party module is there. If anybody is interacted with APIs, then use the third party module. That module providing some methods. We are going to use those methods.
Okay. So after this class, can I develop one API which is doing the payment gateways?
See, sir, in this course duration, so payments related, I mean, these things asking a lot of rules and regulations, sir. Payments, we need to take license from the banks. So when we are, doing work in the organization, company people are providing the payment APIs. Okay, license APIs. Then those APIs we are using in our development. So here, general CRUD operations related and how providing security to our APIs. Okay. And app-to-app communication, how we are doing, and real-time tools, Postman, Swagger tool, how we are using for testing our APIs. For example, real-time presentation developers are required to developing the presentation. When we are interacted with the presentation, GUI menus we are developing, sir. Back-end side APIs are going to call. So here we are developing the Django-related APIs. So somebody is developing the presentation, sir. Without waiting that presentation code, using the tools, we are going to test these all APIs. For that, Postman, Swagger, these things we are going to use. Are getting this one? So in my batches, I did not plan any payment related APIs, these things. Generally, previous batches. Okay.
Actually, in my project, they're using payment gateways. For that, they're using web services. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, is there any at least introduction how to get the payment gateways and that?
Yeah, definitely we'll discuss that one. So actually here, when my intention mainly, so this conversion how we are doing, for doing this one, lot of variations are there. So these things we are doing, and later when I'm starting app to app communication related, so people are people are thinking like a lot of code we are writing, for app to app communication. So those that time those people, okay, we are not required to do another application for testing purpose. Always we will develop our APIs, and our APIs using the browser or using the API Postman tool like this. They are interested to testing. That's why myself also did not plan these all things.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So APIs
Yeah,
how creating by using the different variations. A lot of variations are there, sir. These things majorly
yeah.
I planned previously all batches. And also one
Okay.
point, right now here 1 month 30 sessions we are planning, sir, generally. So previously when I'm taken offline batches before Corona, sir, okay, before Corona
Okay.
holidays started. So when I'm taking offline batches, people are joining only fast track batches, sir. When I'm taking
Okay.
1 month, people are not interested to learn 1 month this course, sir. Only within 10 days, within 15 days, we need to complete like this, sir. So that
Okay.
time, all these rules and regulations, communication how we are doing, majorly for our Django APIs how we are developing, and to this existing Django project APIs how we are integrating. Okay, for the existing Django only we are writing the API coding also. So how we are for APIs also views required, URLs required, okay, and serializers code required, sir. Coming session you are going to get and models also required. For Django also model is there, views is there, URLs is there, these all things. Then without getting collisions, how we are going to do integration. So like these are major points I focused. And later by doing practice, people are learning their own itself.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So first of all, this structure, both of you understanding these conversions are. So I will show you, sir, in our session using pure Django also how we are doing this conversion. Using Django also we can developing the APIs, sir. But when you are learning Django course, no one is discussing about that concepts. Using Django also API we can develop, sir. For that Django also providing serializers concept. REST API also providing the serializers concept. Using Django serializers, if you are doing this API creating to do this conversion, more than 100 lines code is required, sir. But same conversion using REST API, if you are doing then less than 10 lines code enough. Django to JSON, JSON to Django conversion purpose. That's why all people are using REST API related conversion only. Even though you know how to write these 100 lines of code more effectively, but your organization, inside your organization, your superiors are there. Those people are not accepting this code, 100 lines of code. You are writing 100 lines of code means some time taking and some execution time is required, sir. Performance is decreasing, and more lines code required means more memory is required. Okay, so complexity is getting, sir, readability is decreasing, like some problems are there. That's why your superiors, why you are using this Django to do this API conversion. So use REST API to make this API creations. I mean, to converting Django to JSON, JSON Django, they're asking about the REST API. So that's why we are removing all these lines and we are going to add this REST API related coding. Getting this one? So I will take here that session also using Django, how we are doing API creation. So Django code converting into JSON, JSON to Django, how we are doing that is also I will discuss one session. Cloud operation related. Are you getting this one? Yeah, guys.
Do we build an entire project like will it be like I mean, will it be a small project or big project?
Sir, this is concepts wise we are discussing here. Lot of concepts are for each concept related separate project we are going to develop in small kind of projects. Concepts we are discussing explanation wise, and that concept related justification one small project we are going to do. This is the output like this we develop like this.
Sir, as this another person asked, I am also interested in this payment API, sir, like a strip payment API. If you can include in this program, it will be great, sir.
Okay, I'll plan, sir. Actually, frankly, I'm telling. Previously, in my all batches, I did not plan that one. I did not teach that one. Okay, so only lot of people. So many batches are more than
No,
100
sir. Why
batches
I'm asking
completed.
this?
Okay?
Why I'm asking this question is no one is teaching like these APIs like payment gateway, Tozer Pay, and Paytm. These all services. Just they are taking one API, they are doing the calls. But generally, all the persons, what they're teaching like REST API calls. That's what
Yeah.
they are thinking like. Is there any chance? Is there? Just you can update that one.
Yes, yes, sir.
We'll see.
Okay, sir. Definitely I'll plan, but I will try my level best, sir. Okay, and don't hope so
Okay.
100% that one. Maximum I will introduce that one all things. Okay. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm telling frankly, previous batches only people are interested within the 2 weeks only they want to learn. So that's why a lot of variations I did not plan. So major concepts
Okay.
why REST API, how we are developing, how we are calling our Django database using the REST APIs like this planning, app-to-app communication, integration related, and to our APIs, how we are providing the security with the presentation or with a Postman tool communicating, with the Swagger tool communicating, like these things. So these 2 weeks completing to teach these all things. So that's why more subjects, more concepts I did not plan. Okay. So in this batch, okay, I'll plan those all things if it is possible, maximum. Okay. For example, in our previous batch, previous REST API batch, so in that batch, a lot of ORM queries, advanced queries, I planned, and database generally MySQL database we are using inside our Python communication or Django communication. So MongoDB nowadays, some interest MongoDB people are asking. Simply we are calling NoSQL DB. About the NoSQL DB, people are asking. So what is NoSQL DB? How we are interacted with that MongoDB? For MongoDB interaction, what module is required? Third-party modules. So how we are interacting? These all things I planned previous batch newly. Understand, sir? So like maybe batch by batch, I will increasing the subject. And ORM core is general lot of people, sir, when you are doing practice, so all method you are using to get the all data model name dot object objects dot all method, get method you are using maximum. Okay, so filter method you are using, filter method generally, and next exclude method you are using, exclude methods. Instance one. So next what you are using, sir? Delete method you are using. All right, delete method you are using. Next, any other methods you are using? Tell me. How to creating data into database? Nothing but create method you are using. Okay, and model object by using only model names. For example, if your model name is employee, so employee of some fields. What are your fields are there? Employee number equal to so and so. Employee name equal to so and so. Like this, you are creating and you are storing into one object, and that object dot save method you are using to save the data. Like these things, general basic things you are doing. Okay, so many are there, sir. Advanced queries are there. For example, in my database table, 10 employees are there. Salaries also there, sir. All people salary by writing the single query. I want to do average. I want to do sum. Okay, and which one is the highest salary? Which one is the second highest salary? Which one is the least salary? Like a lot of advanced queries are there. For that, we are writing some lookups. Lot of lookups are there, sir. For example, employee names start with employee names having a Virat, Rohit, Dhoni, like a number of things, sir. So I want to get employee names start with yes. These all people I want to get. Employee names ends with so and so. I want to get. Okay. So salaries are different salaries are there, sir. So for example, the people who are having the salaries less than 20,000, those all people I want to get. Or else exactly 20,000 I want to get. Like a lot of ORM queries are there, sir, advanced queries. So for example, F object is there and the Q object is there. Okay. So these are having a more benefits, sir. And order by is there, order by method, and count method is there. Okay, and here to creating data into database are using models. So single query purpose we can use a creator. I want to create at a time 100 records, or at a time 100 records I want to create inside my employee related table. Then separate methods are there, sir. And I want to delete at a time bulk records, lot of records I want to delete, sir. Group of records, then separate method is there, separate process is there. So single record deleting, group of record deleting, single record creating, group of records creating, And if you are using all method, all records, all fields are displaying, but I don't want all the fields. Employee number, employee name, salary is there, sir. Only employee number, name only I want to display. For that, separate methods are there. Values method, value list method, okay, values method, and values list method. What is difference between values and values list method? Like a lot of things I planned in previous batches. These all things advanced queries. Okay, so at the time of discussion, these all things question and answer wise we are getting one task wise, and the task how we are solving the solution. Okay, so that is the thing, sir. So according to that, you can plan, sir. So I'm telling majorly these all concepts related. So at the end of this session, so maximum I will plan that API payment purpose, payment gateways. Are you understanding, guys? So for your joining purpose, I'm telling definitely I will tell. After you are joining, I'm not telling, means that is not correct. Am I right? So maximum I will introduce, sir, all the things. So management giving 1 month duration. Previously only within the 15 days only, sir, I taken batches. So within the 15 days means what are the possibilities are there to covering. So those things only I planned. Okay. So for example, at the end of the time, for example, at the end of the time, so we are developing the APIs with less lines of code, sir. So for example, this one. So if you are writing these lines of code, then we can do it all code operation, creating, updating, these all things. Okay. So when we'll start practicals means, sir, first of all, theoretically we need to completing. Just now introduction only we completing. Tomorrow some general terms are there. What we are using inside our application development. What is API? What is web API? What is a REST API? Okay, and what is a consumer? What is a provider? What is a partner? These all the definitions we need to discuss. And HTTP methods. HTTP methods we need to about the HTTP protocol. HTTP protocol we need to discuss. So this protocol is providing different methods. We need to discuss these all methods. And then types of services are there, sir. Web services are there, and I mean RESTful based web services are there, and the SOAP based web services are there. So these all differences we need to discuss. So initially first 3-4 days lot of theoretical you are getting, sir. So these all things anything they may ask in interview. What is REST API? What is API? So tell me something about the HTTP protocol, and HTTP protocol providing a lot of methods. So any method they will ask. Understand, son? And types of services, RESTful based services and SOAP based services. So for that one important question is there, sir. Why people are not using the SOAP based services? Why using only RESTful based services nowadays? Okay, and JSON and XML both are called universal languages. Why people are not using the XML to developing the APIs? Why using only JSON to developing the APIs? So we need to discuss differences, a lot of things, advantages and drawbacks. Then practically we are going to start. Understand? So these all things required 2 sessions. Right now this is a demo session, 2 sessions. So within the next 2 sessions, these all differences, all the definitions you are going to get. So then we are planning the practically coding shop. Are you understanding this one, guys? Okay. So okay. Now okay, sir. So we'll plan some general definitions here. General definition. So first, what is API? Regularly we are calling API like this. So first of all, what is API? So here API stands for application programming interface. Application programming interface. This is the full name, sir, abbreviation. API stands for application programming interface, and APIs are used for making the app-to-app communication. We have 2 applications, sir. For example, one is a Java application, another one is a Django application. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, Django app one, this one assumption. Next, I have Java applications. I have Java app 2, this one. So if you want to providing communication between one application to another application, we required one interface in middle. Okay, we required one interface. That interface is called API. Okay, so here this is we are calling API. This is we are calling API. By using this API, then we are interacted from one application to another application. From one application to another application, we will interact. So, for example, for this Java, you are having one API, sir. You are having one API. This API using by Django. So, Django person sending the request by using Java API. Sending the request by using the Java API. Okay. Then Java is giving a response. Java is giving a response to the Django application. You getting this one? So this is we are calling API. What is API means? To providing the communication between one application to another application, we required one interface. That interface is nothing but API. So API is used for making the communication between the two applications. Okay. And now here I have one user, sir. I have one user, for example. So one human being persons are there, sir. So human being wants to communicating my application to performing some tasks, to performing some operation. Okay. Then as a human being, users how interacted, users how interacted with our application Django means by using the GUI menus. Using the GUI menus means graphical user interface. Okay. For updating, for deleting, for creating like buttons wise. Some GUI menus wise we are going to create, sir. So users interacted with the GUI menus, sir. Users interacted with the GUI menus by clicking particular menu. Backside our API only going to call. Okay, backside our API only going to call, sir. Are you understand this one? So users to application, from user to application communication purpose we required GUIs. And from one application to another application, nothing but app to app communication API is required. Okay, so app to app means here you are writing line 1, line 2, line 3, like this, a number of lines you are writing, sir. So somewhere you are calling API while writing the coding only. But as a user communicating to API means some presentation buttons you are going to create. So when people are clicking particular button, you are going to call particular API. Are you getting this one about the API? Yeah. So now, yeah. Have you any doubt? Okay. Next, what is a web API? We are calling, sir. What is a web API? Sir, generally we have different kind of applications, sir. So some are like a static application, some are like a web application, sir. For example, in nowadays everybody is using a smart mobile, sir. In our mobile only hundreds of applications are there. Those all applications are dividing like two types, sir. Some are static applications, some are web applications, sir. So static applications means the applications which are working without internet, the applications which are working without internet, then those applications we are calling the static applications. For example, so calendar, calculator, Excel sheet, contact page, these all things are no need internet, sir, we can use. And next, web applications, the applications which are required internet to communicating or to working with those applications, then those applications we are calling web applications. Simply applications which are required internet for working with those applications we are calling web applications. So in our mobile, what are the web application means? So many are there, sir. Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, Paytm, Google Pay, Phone Pay, these all things are what applications? Web applications. Okay, so we are going to developing the APIs for static applications and APIs for web applications. So web API we are calling. Web API means the APIs which are developing for web application purpose, then we are calling web APIs. Okay, the APIs which are developing for web application purpose, then those APIs we are calling the web APIs. Web APIs also called as web services. Nothing but The service which is the service which are services which are developing for web application purpose is called web services. Simple, just a term only changing, sir. Getting this one? Yeah. Now, so our main concept, REST API. REST API. So REST API stands for what? Representational. REST for first of all you can see. REST stands for representational state transfer. Representational state transfer. RE stands for representational, S stands for state, and T stands for transfer. Representational state transfer. So here why they take a name as representational state transfer means when we are sending the request, okay, along with the request we are giving the state information, sir. You want to delete data, or you want to update data, or you want to get the data like this. These all things you are going to give, sir. That is nothing but state behavior. State nothing but behavior. What operation you want to do? That is the thing. Okay, and you are transferring the request from one application to another application. You are exchanging the information, or you are exchanging the data from one application to another application. That is nothing but transfer, sir. And you are giving representational means at the time of sending request only you are giving information what kind of response I want to get. That representation you are giving. That's why people are calling this one is a representational state transfer. So this is acting like a client server architecture, sir. Client server architecture. Understand this one? So which application we are calling client and which application we are calling the server. Understand this one? So the application which is sending the request, the application which is sending the request and getting the response is called client application, sir. So this is we are calling request I'm sending, and next here response I'm going to get, sir. So client application sending the request and receiving the response, sir. And the server means the application is the application which is receiving the request and processing that request, generating the response and returns that response to client is called server application. Okay, so our REST API is nothing but working with the client server architecture only. So at the time of sending request, nothing but API we are sending, sir. API request we are sending. Along with this API information, what you want to delete, what you want to do operation on the server side application. I want to get the data from the server application. I want to delete data from the server application. I want to update in the server application like this. That information also we are giving. And at the time of giving information, what kind of response you want to get, that is also you are representing. So generally using our APIs, REST APIs, what kind of response we are getting means 100% you are going to get the JSON response. That is a Django REST framework behavior. Using Django REST framework, we are going to developing our response in the form of JSON. Okay, so we are sending the request, we are getting the JSON response. That is the concept, sir. Are you getting this one? Okay. Now REST is nothing but one architecture, sir. REST stands for representational state transfer. It is an architecture. It is providing some architectural style. REST providing some architectural style. Architecture means some planning, sir. When you are going to constructing your new home, so you are going to take planning, sir. Building planning you are taking. Which side hall required, which side kitchen room required, which side bedroom required, like all things we are planning, taking, sir. So according to that planning, we are going to constructing home. Then only final results are coming beautiful. So same like when you are going to developing the APIs, so we are going to follow some rules and guidelines. Okay, some rules and guidelines. So to developing the APIs purpose, REST providing some guidelines or principles. By following the REST principles or guidelines, if we are developing any API, then those APIs we are calling the REST APIs. Are you understand this one? REST APIs means by following the REST principles or guidelines, if we are developing the any APIs, then we are calling the REST APIs. SOAP APIs also there, sir. By following the SOAP principles or guidelines, you are developing the APIs. Then those APIs we are calling SOAP based APIs. And RESTful guidelines you are following and you are developing the APIs means RESTful based APIs we are calling. Is it clear? Okay. So what guidelines it is providing, how we are developing. So slowly you are going to get the subjects. Now here generally provider and consumer, like two names are there, sir. Provider versus consumer apps. Okay. So what is the provider application? What is the consumer application means? Simply you can take again two applications. So the application, one application is providing the APIs, another application is using the APIs. So assumption here, app 1 providing the APIs, app 1 providing the APIs, and app 2 using the APIs, using APIs. Understand this one? Yeah. So can see, sir. So application 1 having the APIs, application 2 using the APIs. So the application which is using the APIs, then that application we are calling a consumer application, and the application which is providing the APIs, then that application we are calling the provider application. Okay. So application 1 we are calling the providers are here. Application 2 we are calling the consumer. Are you getting this one? These all are general terms, sir. So what is our provider application? What is our consumer application? Like this, we are talking. So to understanding that I'm very easily, here only I'm giving all the theoretically. Okay. So okay guys, remember up to here, and this session we will discuss about the protocols and the types of web services. So based, RESTful based, JSON and XML. These all things we will discuss. Okay. So now I'll stop the session, sir. Recording I'll stop and you can ask doubts. Yeah, guys. So are you understanding, guys?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Next session tomorrow I'll meet. Thank you.